Check one, two, 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 three, rolling, roll. So, I'm not sure exactly where I left off in the last chapter, but I've personally spent $100,000 at a single bodega, and yeah, I was a piece of the family unit as far as spending. As suppose the tax man he come to town, um, the working man's bears march along, and the tax man comes to town and says, "You there? How much did you pay and spend where?" Or something similar to he'll feel. Excuse me, I'm a dunce. Say I'm stupid, el stupido, from heavy prescription pharmaceutical medication of sorts. Um, so it was 100,000 there, yeah, and then it was a family unit spending of three and earning say one, all thanks to a nameless blood-tied family member, Sugar working cybersecurity for the United States Department of Defense, sponsored by the United States Pentagon. So there was that, and it brought in money, but we had to spend the majority, if not all of it. So there was that, and it was due to the Hussein regime and all sorts of backwards laws that really stuck. They stuck. They were presented as figments of imaginations of yesteryears back then, but they were stapled to the forefront of our foreheads, suppose, and tacked to the behind at the same time. Very real laws, and wound up spending. So, I mentioned it was something about $200,000 at the liquor store, $400,000 at the grocery store, $100,000 at the bodega, and then another family member spent $75,000 at the bodega. Well, I spent $100,000 at the bodega, and I think I just added it up, and it turns into something like 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, $875,000. This is just about shy of $1 million, and that's just if you count up those few places that were shopped at in regiment almost religiously would be a layman's term, or say every day, like up and at it, and you make and you spend, and that was that. It was something about 800 say $875,000 spent as far as just in the around the homestead in Tiny Town, is what I called it. It's not Waterford in the large, but it's not New London City in the small either. It's on the city skirts, Tiny Town. And so there is no frequent buyer miles at the Best Way. There is no returns. Like I says, on my personal cash, I spent a tenth of $1 million there at that bodega, and there's no, sign this, and the more you spend, the more you earn for coupons at the least, or kickbacks and coupons at the least, for gas points or anything like that. There wasn't anything like that then, and the last I checked, there still isn't anything like that now. Anyway, just chiming in. It's uh, uh, hmm, closer to nine out of 10, as far as 9/10 $1 million spent in Tiny Town from the family unit. Um, there was that, and then I'm going to go ahead and check out, trying to remember the second portion of the segment. So somewhere about the 350 2 1